Hi again, everybody. I'm Dan Hoard, and this is your Bengals training camp report for Monday, July 29th. It is brought to you by Medical Mutual, the official health insurer of the Cincinnati Bengals. Over the last 2 years, the Bengals' new head coach, Zac Taylor, was part of the most productive offense in the NFL as the Rams averaged roughly 31 points a game. The Bengals hope to thrive under his system, but perhaps the bigger question is what could be done to fix a defense that allowed the most yards in team history. Longtime NFL defensive backs coach Lou Anarumo is the new man in charge.
I think Coach Lou's great. His defense is awesome, and he teaches it very well. Very detail-oriented, and I think he gets the most out of guys. You know, there's a lot of effort put in whether it's studying the playbook at practice, running the ball. I think he's a great leader overall. I didn't even know he was a first-time D coordinator until like halfway through OTA. Someone told me. He doesn't strike me as one at all. He commands the room, and he's a great dude.
I'm joined now by my broadcast partner, Dave Lapham. Let's talk about defensive coordinator Lou Anarumo and what he can do to try to fix the Bengals defense.
Well, I think watching the Bengals defense, it's well constructed and well put together. And like we've talked about before, Dan, his expertise is on the back end. And I think the coverage has been really tight. I mean, all through OTAs, mandatory minicamp, and the early stages of training camp, he's pretty aggressive with his coverage. I mean, he's not giving big cushions. He'll change it up. And the thing that I like about the defense is, you know, sometimes it looks like he's single high with one safety deep, and really after the snap of the ball, it's two deep. You know, so it's got a lot of flexibility and versatility to it, where he can give you one look pre-snap and then post-snap after the snap of the ball. It's something totally different. Most defenses can do that, and he's no exception to that. The key is, just like with any coaching staff and players, you have to know how smart your players are. The smarter they are, the more you can be versatile and disguise things. And if you have, you know, a couple of players out there on the field that you feel dicey about, you're going to have to dumb it down a little bit and don't be as complicated and diverse, because at that point you're hurting yourself. You know, you're subjecting your own team to major mistakes, which you don't want to do. So I think there's a feeling out process going on with respect to that. And that obviously the organization that set the gold standard for smart players is the New England Patriots. Offensively, defensively, they can morph from one week to another to a totally different system, a totally different plan. And that's why they're so tough to play against. And, you know, that's what you really like to have is smart players.
This guy never had to dumb it down, by the way, with that fine Syracuse University education. Let's talk about your old position, the offensive line. Christian Westerman practiced with the ones at left guard today. It was a so-called maintenance practice, so it wasn't very physical. But what has stood out in the first 3 days on the offensive line?
Well, you know, some of the new bodies. You know, the guy John Jerry that Coach Turner had worked with before. Massive man, you know, 6'5", 340 pounds, and he gets out in the screen pass and he's running pretty well, you know. So I'm like, boy, he's got some rubber left on the tire. But the thing is that Coach Turner already has a relationship with him, so you bring him in as he's trying to form relationships with others to have that kind of conduit. The guy, they've already got it, and John Jerry can kind of advise guys a little bit, things that Coach Turner likes, doesn't like, that kind of thing. The other thing is he's already worked through his techniques with him in Miami, so he can put tape on of Miami. This guy right here that you see in person, that's him doing these techniques successfully as we block the New England Patriots or Buffalo Bills, whoever they're blocking. So, you know, he has a little bit of a role that way. I think that's a positive one. The other guard, John Miller, this guy, you know, 6'3", 315-pounder. When I have defensive players, defensive linemen and linebackers come up to me and say, "Lap, 67, dude can play." You know, you got a football player. I mean, he's solid. He's a real upgrade, I think, to the offensive line. So, you know, we talk about all the injuries and everything that they're suffering. They have some good additions. Another guy I want to talk about is a guy that's been here, but Trey Hopkins. He's playing center now because Billy Price is down, playing it well. He played it well last year when Billy got hurt. Very, very intelligent, kind of like a football Mensa guy. You know, I mean, nothing's too big for him that way. He can play any one of the 5 positions in the offensive line, and at some point in time during the season, he probably will. That's why he's a coach's dream, because instead of activating 8 linemen, you activate 7. Instead of activating 9, you activate 8 because of his versatility. And when Billy comes back, he'll probably get in the race at the left guard position. And even if he doesn't win the starting position, that versatility like Clint Bowling gave the football team, I think think Trey Hopkins is capable of doing the same thing. And then finally, Andre Smith back for another appearance. And where would they be without him right now, really? And he's looking pretty good. He's in good shape. He still has that hip snap that I've seen before. And I'll tell you, a swing tackle, a valuable guy, former first-round pick. The guy's played a lot of football. I think that's a good, solid addition at this point in time to this offensive line. They need him.
The next couple of days are going to be entertaining at the practice fields next to Paul Brown Stadium. The pads go on tomorrow. The Bengals will practice at 3 o'clock on Tuesday, at 3 o'clock on Wednesday, with lots of thumping. So it should be entertaining for the Bengals fans to come out and watch.
Anchor those pads. And Lyman, get those pads low. Get them low.
For Dave Lapham and our photographer, Marissa Contepelli, I'm Dan Hoard. Thanks for checking out this training camp report here on Bengals.com.